cannot deal with this. Why does my hair look so lopsided? My lips look so dry. Hey guys, welcome back to my video, and you're back with the girl Queen E, and this is In His Eyes. And I'm so sorry. Oh my gosh, I'm actually so terribly sorry. I haven't recorded in so long, and like I literally just came, introduced myself, and then I just disappeared. I'm so sorry. I was literally facing like technical difficulties.
Disappeared. I'm so sorry. I was literally facing like technical difficulties
and just yeah, and exams were coming, and that man had to study like mad. Even the study like mad. Even the we're not gonna talk about that. But so as you can tell by the title, hopefully, that we're doing our first episode of Let's Talk. So let me just explain roughly how the series work, and then we'll get straight into the video. Okay, so in conclusion, did I even start the paragraph to what conclusion? But basically, all that's gonna happen is that, so for example, this video is a Let's Talk series. Let's Talk series is literally things that I feel like should be talked about, maybe that's been laid on my heart by God, that I feel like that needs to be talked about, and I will talk about it on my channel. So that's Let's Talk. Then there's gonna be Your Talk series, which is stuff that you guys have told me to talk about, that maybe you feel like something that I didn't maybe explain well, or you were interested in, or something, just anything you're interested in that you guys pop up with and that want me to do or talk about. That's a Your Talk series. And then there's also going to be Girl Dem Tea Talk, which is like a Q&A thing with me and a few girls. I haven't chosen who, but they're always going to like change up, so like I don't want anyone popping up like, oh my gosh, I want to be on your Girl Dem Tea Talk, because they will not be the same girls all the time. But it'll be like Q&As, advice videos, just yeah, anything that the girl don't want to talk about. Let's get straight to the video about why I worship. And it's not just from a personal state, but I think in general why people should worship. And maybe you have your other reasons as well, as long as they're not too personal, like, oh my god, God's gonna bless me with a house, then yeah, you're on track. But after watching this, please do share in the comment section below to say also why you worship and just your experience with God so far. Alright, first point is God is my creator. And I always like this example that I've heard from Michael Todd, and it's literally that God is literally like our manufacturer. I was never asked to come on this earth, but he decided to make me, and he's made me for a reason and for a purpose. It's the same way that the phone that I'm using to record this with, the manufacturer made it for the purpose of me to be able to make phone calls, for me to be able to record a video like I am right now. So I think God made me and everyone else, okay, God made me for a reason and for a purpose, brought me into the world to say, I'm bringing you forth to this world, add something to this world, add some seasoning, be the Maggie cube for the jollof rice, be the salt to your stew, be the pepper to your pepper soup. I don't this wrong, but you get what I mean. So literally, God is my creator, and if I've got any issue, I go to my manufacturer, basically, like, bro, certain things ain't working for me here, and like, you know, and just I said double check that on the system, and literally that is what God has done for us. Okay? Our second point is that the reason why I worship is I love him because he loves me. And it's actually a Bible scripture which I will hopefully put on the screen somewhere. But yeah, I love God because he first loved me. And the thing is that there's this kind of love that we do not even deserve. And there's this kind of grace which is unmerited favor, meaning I did not deserve, neither did I work for it, but he just decided to love me. And it's something that's actually a big deal that sometimes we don't realize it really is. But God's love is actually something so big, and I've divided it into 3 factors: his love through his grace, his love through our blessings, and his love through our testimonies. So I'm going to start off with grace. His grace was shown to us when his son died for us. And John 3:16 does say, "For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, that whoever believes in him should not perish but have everlasting life." The same way, because of course when you're straightforward, like literally you just come out the room, you have no idea who God is, but even though you didn't know who he was, he already loved you. And I think it's just that kind of love that even like a parent should have, even for a child. And in some circumstances people don't actually receive that kind of love at first, but for someone who has just literally come out, God already said, I love this child. I want them to have a purpose on this earth. I want them to have my love. I want them to experience my love. I want them to have my grace. And so that's when God gives it to us. And I feel like just sometimes you look at your background, what you've done, things you've done, you're thinking, I don't deserve to be in his presence. I don't deserve to, like even talk to God. Like, oh, I haven't sought his presence for so long. I don't deserve to even like be under his presence. Like God's like, whoa, if you've drifted away, you can always come back. And it's like he always waits for us with open arms, and it's just so beautiful, and it's just amazing, literally. Second one is his love through blessings. And our blessings can be so much, but can be as simple as just the breath of life. Some people slept the same time as I did last night, and just this morning did not wake up the same way I did. And just being able to breathe, people are living so much like elsewhere on this earth and just going through so much. And for me, the littlest troubles I have is literally even probably exams, literally probably like friendships, and they're things that actually God can solve. And so like you always have to think of it as, even when you go through something, there's always someone going through even more. And to be honest, it's even a blessing to go through what you go through. It's like saying, without knowing what is bad, you will not know what is good. And so without going through trials, you wouldn't know when you have actually been blessed. And so for me, it's a blessing to be alive. It's a blessing to be able to speak to whoever's watching this video. It's a blessing to be able to just be living, to come under his presence. It's just such a great blessing. And my third one is, it's his love, through our testimonies. And I guess everyone has been through their own things. It's literally everyone's on their different race. We're all going to the same destination, but everyone gets through that race in all different sides of manner. And literally, I've got so many testimonies. I can't wait to be doing testimony times as well on this channel, because things I've been through ever since I was young, and things I still even deal with that I can experience and I can testify that I'm overcoming. It's just like, raw. God has been so good. And literally, even though we go through more and more things, there are still things that we can testify to say that if he's done it before, he would do it definitely again. So that's the summary of his love, in my opinion. So don't forget to also comment down below also why you love God now, especially when he first loved you. What's the reasons why you love God? My third point is he uses people from any background. Now, he don't care about race, no gender, nothing. You can be the most let me just go through sections of the Bible for me to prove to you where God does not care. Okay, so I'm going to start off with Jabez. The name Jabez, I never knew about the story of Jabez, but I remember my pastor talking about it. And Jabez, I think, means something like sorrow, and so his life just was so bitter. But then God decided to use him out of all his, I think, brothers, siblings, or out of a whole collection of people. He used somebody that was full of sorrow, had so much sorrow in his life, had so much that was just everything going on in his life. And he's just thinking, how me? Like, what about if I even like bring something wrong to this plan that you have for me, God? And literally, God still does his thing in it. Gideon was the youngest of his brothers, and I feel like nobody should actually look at age to determine who they are or who God has made them to be. Because even Jeremiah said that, God, how can you use me, for I am a youth? And God says that, like, literally, I don't look at age. God doesn't look at age. Gideon and Joseph are people that stand out to me because God never looked at age when he chose them, and they were both the youngest of their family. And for me, it's sisters of 3, and I'm literally the youngest as well. And it doesn't mean that God can stop using me because I'm the youngest. Neither does it mean that my sisters can't be used either. Anyone on this earth, no matter your background, how sinful you are, God can use you. I want to use the example of David. Oh! When I talk about David's sins, my God, man killed somebody to take his wife. Man, he did so much. Like, he was ready to kill Abigail's like husband. Like, he has done so much, yet he is the one God actually like kept his eyes on. God said, this is like, I don't remember what God called him, but this is literally my son. And God he invested so much into David, loved David so much. Although David was like, I feel like probably David was like the biggest sinner out of the whole Bible. I'm no one to judge, but the things David did, you can't know. Come on, wherever your background is, as long as you've dropped that in the past, God can definitely use you. I also believe that God does not look at your gender, because sorry, the person I'm about to use here, I'll be representing her all the time. Like Esther from the Bible. Sorry, you know. But Esther from the Bible, literally, Esther was an orphan girl, and just why couldn't he use Mordecai? That was my question. Mordecai was a male. Mordecai had wisdom. He could have used Mordecai to save the Israelites, but he didn't. He used Esther, a poor little girl that just thought that she was nothing. But then these words were always something that actually used to strengthen me, that, you know, maybe I was made for a time like this. And it was Mordecai that told that to Esther, that maybe you were brought in this circumstance for a time such as this. You were made queen probably for a time such as this. God has sent you for a reason. God put you into someone's situation in this kind of time for you to save that person. And for me, Esther's response was, if I perish, I perish. And I feel like that's the perseverance that us as Christians or people should actually have in our lives. Whereas we think that, God, wherever you want to put me, Father, just let me just go with you. Whereas we're just thinking, God, if I perish, I perish. Fourth point is, people have testified. So many people, as I said previously, from the Bible have testified of God's love, God's grace, his amazingness. Okay, I want to use the example of Saul into Paul. Now, Saul was persecuting Christians, and the thing is, it was mad. But then he also experienced the kind of love the disciples experienced, and realized that, this is why they still decide to continue to follow Jesus. And so even though, because of his background of him being a persecutor, it never stopped him from becoming a preacher, basically. And so sometimes we do judge ourselves, but you are not the judge of yourself. No one should be the judge of you either. But as long as, if someone corrects you to say that you're doing a bit of wrong here, you need to kind of, you know, pattern up. Or if you're realizing for yourself that, whoa, skirt to the left, like, you know, you're not going in the right way, it's time to, like, literally give yourself to Christ. And sometimes it's quite important for us personally to sit down and reflect on things we've done during our day, maybe during our week, and just think, God, how can you help me? And the fifth point is, because I can testify, and as I've said before, I'm going to do testimony times, but I can testify so much how much God actually loves me in my life, and hopefully you can. Even if you feel like you've never experienced God, give him time. Like, try and seek. Ever since seeking God, like, even though I was born into the church, not everybody could get that opportunity to be born in the church, but seeking Christ is the most important thing, I'm telling you. Because then, as you get closer, you see things just changing, you just see things transforming, and it's just shaping up. And even when you're in Christ, and sometimes things just look so terrible, God never promised that things were ever going to be perfect, but he said, I will never leave you nor forsake you. Number 2, he said that no weapon fashioned against you will prosper. And so as time goes on, things just begin to shape up. Life just begins to form in this beautiful manner, in just this beautiful way. And sometimes we just overlook that. But getting closer and closer to God, I'm not the best Christian you could ever meet. I'm not one perfect, but especially not being perfect and just still experiencing such love, it's like, brother, do I even deserve this? Like, God, do I really deserve it? So yeah, that's the summary of my video. So I want to thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you like, comment and subscribe. As time goes on, you know, I'll be doing more videos. I will not just disappear and just not come back. I promise I will be here. I'm joking. Well, don't know where that came from. But I will try my best to, you know, frequently upload stuff. Give me ideas of things you want to see. I want to also start your talk series. So once you give me stuff to talk about, I'm gonna talk and talk and talk and talk. Okay, I'm joking. So make sure you like, comment and subscribe. Don't forget to share the love, kings and queens. So thanks so much. This is your girl, Queen E. Shalom Peace. I'm sorry, I don't know what demon tried to interrupt this, yeah?